Together for R.J. Rock.
I love food. I hold this truth to be self-evident. At 6 years old, popcorn was my favorite snack. Ready to eat in 2 minutes or less because any longer at 6 years old always feels like an eternity. It always popped in the space between meals. It was a comfort for cuts and bruises, a well done for a perfect pop quiz. It's always been indicated that something was about to happen. And these days, there was no short of happening. At 6 years old, my spine straightened just long enough during a traffic stop to tell a police officer exactly what little black boys thought of him. Strangling a bag of Oval Redenbacher, I said, "Mr. Officer, are you going to shoot us?" I watched my mother's face fold in on itself as she realized what it felt like to have a voice box handcuffed. These days, I can't write fast enough to keep up with all this popping. Black bodies are popped in 2 minutes or less because any longer would feel like an eternity. They never sit on our stomachs long enough to digest. Instead, we throw up half-digested cell phone video on every social media platform available, hoping we can fat shame the chefs serving us this ready-made mistreatment, melted over malnutritious murder, manifests as mere misfortune and misunderstanding. I wish these shots wouldn't pop the spot so often. The Confederacy may have gone the way of the dinosaurs, but discrimination does not burn as easily as Confederate flags or popcorn. Jim Crow didn't die, y'all. He just revamped the menu. Tonight, we are serving Negro, skinned and sauteed over a bed of blackened badges and flame crosses. Waiter, I ordered conviction with the throw him under the jailhouse salad, and you bring me a failure to indict with the side of he had it coming. Left wondering if justice tastes sweet or savory. So when someone shoots a cop, I cry, even though it's just dessert. You know I'm tired of playing benefit of the doubt, devouring innocent until proven guilty. When the same burden of proof never stomach ate the blue lives that matter so much. You know, black bodies don't hang from trees anymore. They slow cook in project crock pots until freedom falls off the bone, ready to eat as soon as these braised bullets have popped the life out of them. So be gluttonous. Eat till you burst the entrance wound. I mean the exit wound. I mean the noose. I mean the seams. I mean, eat whatever you like, as long as your diet doesn't contain any actual nutritional value, like movie theater food, like sweet tea and Skittles. Can you hear that sound? Can you smell that smell? Can you hear that pop, 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 pop? Can you feel your mouth watering the way it does before you vomit? I wonder when America will be ready for a new favorite snack.
That was RJ Wright. Judges, can I get RJ scores in 3, 2, 1? All right, from low. All right, from low to high, I have a 7.6. I got I got 7.9. An 8.0. An 8.6. And a 9.6. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. So I just want to remind everyone what this event is for again. We are competing. These poets are competing. They're competing. The top 8 out of 12 poets will advance to our second part of finals next week. They're competing to be top 5 poets to represent to make the Right About Now Poetry Slam team and go to one of the largest regional poetry festivals in the country called Southern Fried, which is taking place in Louisville, Kentucky. Every single cent that is raised through this show is going to that team. And every single cent that is raised through the next show is going to the team. Plane tickets right now to Louisville. Thank y'all. Yeah, clap for that because y'all are supporting the arts. When they say support the arts, this is what it looks like. This is 100% what it looks like. Y'all, I can tell you right now that a team of 5 right now, the cheapest ticket, plane ticket. Y'all know plane tickets right now. I'm sitting my ass at home. I'm like, Buc-ee's was $3.99. I was like, almost $4 at Buc-ee's. It's really expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around this tip jar. This tip jar is going to go directly to that team and makes it. So if you enjoy the show tonight and you want to support some more, you can put in this tip jar. We also have Cash App at WAN Poetry. We also have Venmo, WAN Poetry. We also have PayPal, WAN Poetry at gmail.com. Those are really our favorite social media apps for you to follow us on. I'm going to pass this tip jar too. And I'm going to put in, so there we go. So we're going to pass this tip jar around. I got Ayo scores. I want to go into the second round. I got RJ scores. I want to go into the second round, but I have one more sacrificial poet for y'all. Y'all put your hands together for Ayo Kunlei. Follow more.
Crossing Westheimer, the three of us, just before it becomes Elgin, we head towards the yellow house where before this poets had gathered, but now two cop cars with beaming lights are parked in a parking lot. We lean against my car and laugh as if we weren't frogs inches away from a night adder. Perhaps naive to think it, but we had no reason to think we were in danger or that we were dangerous. And so we laughed with our whole bodies, their lights still on us, steady as a surgeon's hands. We would have left but could not leave. No one could with the cop cars blocking the gate. And so we continued, the three of us, as night became more night. Just like a boy looking into a mirror might see his father's face where his own face was only minutes prior. Eventually, they step out of their cars and walk towards us. Something we cannot hear is muttered into the walkie-talkie. I'll keep it short. There was a break-in. Cops were called. We fit the description. And so questions, existential. What are you doing here? Where are you coming from? Where are you going after this? Best as we could, we answered them. It's been years now, and still I have questions to ask the night that let us leave and live to tell the tale. And it's simple, really, what I want. Nothing thrilling, just a night that is as mundane as rain. Three Nigerian American boys walk back from a Valero with snacks and soda. They cross the street and stand by a Toyota that belongs to one of them. They laugh like hyenas until the night grows jealous of the light in their eyes and takes them home. And oh, their bodies, how light they were and are.
That was Ayo Kunlei Falomo. RJ Wright had a score of a 24.5. Judges, can I get Ayo? RJ looks so angry back there. Judges, can I get Ayo scores in 3, 2, 1? All right. 4. All right, Judge Judy. All right, from low to high, I got a 7.5, a 7.6, a 7.8, a 7.8, and a 9.0. Damn the scores. Give it up for Ayo. And give it up for your first poet in the second round. We're building energy in the front. We're building energy in the middle. We're building energy all the way in the back, coming to the stage. Give it up for Sarah Tonin.
In Greek mythology, sirens are creatures that would lure sailors to their deaths with these enchanting songs. Songs so powerful, no mortal could resist their trap. I knew someone once. They were sailing through this journey called life when they encountered a siren. They said its song was so enchanting, it made them want to put it on loop, turn the volume on high. It was like nothing they'd heard before, like it was meant to be. But friends and family on the neighboring island could hear the siren's true intentions. We tried to warn them, don't do it. This siren is evil. It will destroy everything. But by the time our message would have reached them, their ship had docked on the siren's shore. The siren didn't strike right away. For months, it filled their ears with its enchanting song, creating the attachment as they believed no one would sing for them the way this siren could. It summoned a tsunami of love over them, strengthening the attachment with each tidal wave. But they did not see their ship had been destroyed in the process. When the curtain closed on the siren's act and its true form was revealed, the damage had already been done. The siren had destroyed their ship and harnessed all the messages in the bottles we sent from our neighboring island to create the facade. No one was traveling the ocean looking for them. It then began filling their ears with a new haunting. No one will ever come to your rescue. You've been deserted like an island. They don't care about you. You're lucky I summoned you in the first place. I'm the best you'll ever find. No one will ever sing for you the way I do. Every time they got the courage to build a new ship and sail away, the siren would bomb them with a new tsunami of love, luring them back to the island, wrecking their chances of leaving. It summoned an army of sharks to surround the island to ward off rescuers, leaving them stuck. So when someone has the audacity to ask a survivor, if the siren was so evil, why did you sail to its island in the first place? Why didn't you steer your boat the other direction? Why didn't you just leave? I will tell them. If the siren had revealed its true form at the beginning, no one would sail to its island in the first place. A siren is many things, but it is not stupid. It knows exactly what to say and do to lure its victims. Besides, how is someone supposed to sail away with no boat? It takes an average of 7 tries to leave a siren's island for good. So no matter how many tries it takes you, I am so proud of you for getting the fuck out of there. If someone you know is lured by a siren, don't desert them. Don't assume they are ignoring your messages. Don't assume they don't need you to come to their rescue. Don't abandon their ship. I repeat, do not abandon their ship. If you ever encounter a siren, I will bring an army of my own, and we will fight off the siren's army of sharks and bring you to safety. We will shield you from the siren's haunting like a pair of noise-canceling headphones. We will surround you with love the way the ocean surrounds a deserted island, and we will hold you until you are safe once more.
That was Serotonin. Ayo Kunlei Bellam had a score of a 23.2. Judges, Serotonin scores in 3, 2, 1. All right, from low to high, I have a 7.5. We got some boos. I got 8.4, an 8.8, a 9.0, and a 9.1. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Get that energy up for the next poet coming to the stage. Free.Kay.
So jump to the center, move one leg like this, bounce it.
Monotone, leaving a sense of nothingness in your ears. It's like a puddle of water, no ripples in my face. You can't know my mood. Is as if I took off and reached cruising altitude. My tude may seem neutral to you because there's a trend to be problematic, purposely getting lost in semantics to the point that I've been told that I lack depth. But even the earth looks flat to those perceptions who can't comprehend all its expression in this single dimension. I'm never changing my angles because I don't fit into somebody's triangle, a square. I'm not chasing corners. Geometrically speaking, I'm linear. The frequency that make you listen. A singular character to the point of dominance or exclusion. My starship It's only big enough for one. Filling the cosmos of muted tones and flesh-colored wanders, an organism connecting to life. My mind no be positive. My mind no be negative. Extraterrestrial, celestial. It must be groovy to be around a creator. My voice, it has resonance. A resident in your ear hole. My voice be the stag, and no, I don't mean dear like ants lure to sweetness. My voice be candy. And I do declare, voice will be the reason that stock jump a few points in the air. You better invest in me. A whole note, I steady the race, and eventually everything works in my pace. You tap into this monotone flow. The consistent bass that keeps everything on time, even when I'm not on time, that's a 5-4. My signatures will cause ligatures at your spine. Softly put, my words gonna have you cut down at your roots. I mean, I'm set in stone. I got generations going back to read my series, Junie B. Jones. I said I'm set in stones. I got generations going back to read my series, Junie B. Jones. Sam, I am the green eggs and ham dough stuff spam. It's like if you give a pig a pancake. I got the type of tone that soothes. I'm light and bright like good night moon. Like look at y'all sitting around like it's a giving tree. Your mouth gaping wide. You gluttonous for the words like the old lady who swallowed the fly. I'm everything and nothing at the same damn time. Y'all untrained eyes can't see how many lives reside inside my puddle. Dimensions don't mention how demented my cells be. I'm the broadband, the flyest bride, soon to be known with bands. I know a few brides that make shit pop like rubber bands that make you want to phone home. I keep ET undertones, my voice big. I'm static wave, I'm 5G, megaphone. I want more M's than a Dimsdale Dimmadome. So the next time that you try to refer to me as monotone, just remember that it's a frequency that you can never be on. Free.
That was Free.Kay. Serotonin had a score of a 26.2. Judges, can I get Free.Kay scores in 3, 2, 1? All right, from low to high, I have an 8.9. I have a 9.0, a 9.1, a 9.4, and a 9.5. Damn the scores. Give it up for Free.Kay. Keep that energy going for the next vote coming to the stage. Sarah, Bellam, Mental.
Why are politicians policing bodies like they know what it's like to have a uterus? It is the strongest muscle in the body, used only once during birthing a child. But you, it's only once. When giving birth to a child and you couldn't conceive that responsibility of what that is like. If you can't provide for them, that's one of the worst crimes you could give a child for their dowry. Men produce 1,500 sperm per second, and that is a loss of lost lives given to ejaculates. Men create 525 billion sperm in their lifetime, while a woman only has, guess it, 400 eggs at the point of her conception. And every year after, it's taken away by environmental changes, by time passing. While in Texas, you want to fine a woman for an abortion and give the Judas all this money. What about those who step out on supporting their children? What about my friend who is a devout Catholic, who couldn't conceive her child? So it died inside her. And she nearly lost her life. And they wouldn't remove it from her body because they said, you're just going to pass the baby on the next visit to your bathroom. A menstrual cramp is equivalent to a heart attack in a human. We deal with more pain than you can ever imagine. So why do you think you can police these bodies, which were never yours to begin with?
Y'all give it up for Sarah Bellam mentor. Free.Kay had a score of a 27.5. Judges, can I get Sarah's scores in 3, 2, 1? All right, from low to high, I have a 6.0. I have a 6.2, a 6.7, an 8, and an 8.5. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the poet. And keep that energy going for the next poet coming to the mic, Zach Blunt.
Can y'all make some noise for your host one time, Amir Safi? So Amir and I were talking one day, and he was telling me how men are really bad at greeting each other. And this is very true. I'll give you all an example. One man would go in for a handshake, and the other man would come in for a hug. And the man with his arm out for the handshake will get it trapped in between the hug, and it's always awkward and weird. And I see some men in here laughing because this shit's very true. It happens all the time. And it's got me thinking about my male friends and how we greet each other. And we have a system. It's a dap with a hug on the back end. I really like this. It makes me feel warm and good on the inside. But to anyone watching this interaction happens, it looks super fucking aggressive. And it is very aggressive, but no less loving, I promise. And this got me thinking about aggression and how I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. I just think men have used aggression to be dicks and start wars and shit, but we don't have to. We can get really good hugs with it. We can start riots in the space in between our hearts, make the beating break like windows, make the windows go boom, shatter the space in between space until the time collapses in between our hearts. Let our bodies break against each other. And we can shatter those windows, and through those shattered shards of glass, we can finally see eye to eye. Look inside of who we used to be. Realize you are no different than me, you silly hiccup of a human. We are just as foolish under the eyes of our children. We are just as foolish under the eyes of their future. Under the eyes of this language, anything can make sense, y'all. Like the word pony and baloney technically should not rhyme. Some people know how to spell. But according to the English language, they do. But this is not about English. This is about the language of my body and how it speaks to yours. May we crash like kamikaze. May you shotgun me in my soft spots. May we go out with a bang. I will die 1,000,000,000 times to close the space in between our hearts. Because without these embraces, I was dead from the start. You tell me affection can only be soft, and I'll prove you wrong for a lifetime. I am only here because hard motherfuckers loved me the only way they knew how. From standing with their chest through cigarettes so breath, I love you is not the only way to say I love you, y'all. Sometimes it sounds like, hey, yo, text me when you make it home. Or keep your head up. Or you a bitch. Or adapt with a hug on the back end. And I know, y'all, this is the most aggressive poem you have ever heard about a hug in your entire fucking life. But I promise, it feels no less good on the inside.
Y'all give it up one time for Zach Blunt. Sarah Bellam mental had a score of a 20.9. Judges, let me get Zach's scores in 3, 2, 1. All right. From low to high, I have an 8.2. I have a 8.7. I have a 9.0, a 9.2, and a 9.8. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. And keep that same energy for the next poet coming to the mic, Sharika Mitchell.
How do you say goodbye to spirits? Is it the same as saying hello to your angels? It was a still morning. The break of dawn wrapped in night sheets. I heard your laughter. Your heartbeats were fading. You somehow whispered above the flat line before God became this uninvited guest and snatched your soul from our conversation before a farewell fell from your lips. Planaria edema is a condition in which the lungs fills up and struggles for oxygen. That still morning, my grandfather drowned in his own body. The dams broke loose around his lungs. Why weren't temples built with levees? Our bodies are 60% water, the other 40% monsooned without warning. No flat flush signal, safety jackets, or lifeboats. But how do you save the Titanic of the body if you are the ocean? My grandmother stood by the shores of his bed like a deserted landmass. She resembled a washed up survivor watching death tsunami through her marriage. I wonder, does she still drown herself in remembrance of him? I remember walking to the bus stop. The air felt colder. My aunt's whirlpool of a voice crashing into my ear. Sharika, your grandfather dead. Statement flooded my body. How I sat soaked in jealousy, watching the other students bask in their dry routine humor, and how I drowned in a desert. How I sat still like the morning, like him. No flat flush warning. The levees behind my eyelids broke loose, filling the brim of my collar, gasping in between my tears. I was never taught how to swim. How do you backstroke your way out of death? Is it the same as swimming to an afterlife? A part of me died that morning. I remember my friends carrying my body like a casket, heart drenched in regret. How do you harbor memories you've never experienced? My grandfather spent his last breath in a hospital room. I spent his last breath in the shallow end, being selfish, not giving a damn about anything but myself. But how do you say goodbye to spirits? Is it the same as saying hello to your angels? That still morning, my grandfather drowned, but I couldn't save him.
That was Sharika Mitchell. Zach Blunt had a 26.9 judges. Can I get Sharika's poem or scores in 3, 2, 1? Audience, if you're having a good time, make some noise. That's what I like to hear. From low to high, I have an 8. Higher, I have to learn how to count. I have a 9, a 9, a 9, and a 9.1. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poets. Can y'all stay like 20 more minutes? Y'all give it up for my judges for staying one time. Give it up for my judges. Give it up for Sharika Mitchell. And give it up for the next poet coming to the stage, Jade, Boudreau.
In my entire lifetime, I never wanted to say that I wrote a suicide letter. But until I did, I'd always yearned for and never knew what else to call a collection of words meant for your loved ones in case anything happens. My possessions are light. They can be packed up and moved by one person in less than 6 hours. I keep complicated things in trash bags. My favorite exit is escape, and my biggest fear is being an inconvenience. But I'm really not sure why, because I had everything. I got tucked in, parents that checked my room for monsters, lullabies, bedtime stories, soft fingers stroking hair, a nightlight in case I got scared, and cartoons when awake. But for some reason, I still soured the milk to vodka. My nightlight burnt out. The monster in my closet climbed into bed with me and put a hand around my neck. Sleepovers turned into why don't you ever sleep over? Because there are still teeth under my pillow, but the tooth fairy doesn't exist. Once, I did love a man who taught me that language barriers can mean more than not being able to speak the same one. He taught me if you cleanse a negative space, you have to put something in its place, or what bridges the gap might not be up to you. Because now I have a boulder even an orgasm couldn't chip off my shoulder. You see, this is mania. This is suffering. This is finally having a conversation with that thing that goes bump in the night. And lately, the best sex I've had has been with myself, because emotions not expressed in a timely fashion are like parking tickets. They just get more expensive the longer you wait. What I'm saying is, one day, I'll smile and my lips will disappear, because my will to live is as fragile as the humanity of those that I love. I really am not excited about when that day comes. That's all right, because for now and for tomorrow, I'm still fucking here. Thank you.
That was Jade Boudreau. Sharika had a score of a 27. Judges, can I get Jade's scores in 3, 2, 1? All right. My judges are getting my scores up for me. From low to high, I have a 7.8, an 8.0, an 8.5, an 8.6, and an 8.8. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet.
Are getting better. I don't mean that I'm not broken anymore, but now I have people who will be broken with me. We will pass the glue around and put each other back together again. It's been a little over 2 years since the last time that I did not die. Things are getting better. Even on the days that they aren't so great, I will remember the smell of the dirt and the smooth wood of the coffin I tried to put myself in. They will remind me that we still got shit to do. That was cue the applause. Jade Boudreau had a score of a 25.1. Judges, can I get cue scores in 3, 2, 1. All right. From low to high, I have an 8.4. I have an 8.5. I have a 9.2, a 9.3, and a 9.4. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. Keep that energy going. For the next poet coming to mic, L.J. Hamilton.
I want every woman in here to give yourself a huge round of applause. This piece is dedicated to all of you. You are beautiful. Beautiful as if you are musical. Musical as if you were created from music notes. I have a dependency on your energy like you be dope. And if gravity was rationed out in measures based on imperfection, then you would float because you're perfect. And no force on this earth could ever keep you grounded because you be angel. And you be angels in a society that constantly forces you to adjust to the toxic, adjust to this homage just because you are who God is. Since I'm being honest. You be holy grail and masterpiece. But mostly because you have to be. You be mother. You be father, you be lover, you be scholar, you be a passionate unwillingness to ever relinquish your power. You be doing whatever you have to do, above and beyond what is asked of you. You be presence even in the absence of gratitude. You be sugar, spice, and a little bit of attitude. You be woman. You be logic, common sense in the midst of nonsense. And whenever oppressive legislation is presented, you be coming together to stop it. Side note, fuck politicians who get and stay out of pocket, who view women as nothing more than objects, siding with conservative lobbyists for profit, the same ones who bash lesbian and trans women in public, while ironically and simultaneously living secret lives in closets. When the hidden camera caught it, that's when the previously loudest had no comments, since I'm being honest. You be bold and you be colorful. You be with majestic, perfected undertones. You be wise just as much as you are wonderful. And I love you just because you are lovable. You be the strength to move on after an abusive marriage. The hope to try again after miscarriage. The determination to be both parents when the other refuses to put his share in. You be magic on levels that David Copperfield and David Blaine can't even imagine. You be trendy and be classic with no need for anybody to hashtag it. You be your body, your choice. Your voice is a weapon, calling out those who disrespect it until they get the message. You be woman. We hear you loud and clear as you roar in the face of oppression. On earth, you be essence. And the fact that we need you is without question.
That was LJ Hamilton. Cue the applause. Had a score of 827 judges. Can I get Q score, or can I get LJ scores in 3, 2, 1? From low to high, we have an 8.1. We have a 9, a 9, a 9.7, and a 10. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet and keep that energy going for the next poet coming to the stage, Krishna, Nara.
A line, a limit, something that must not exist, especially in an abusive relationship or anything toxic. When I feel the pits of my love getting tested, I'm led to believe that its existence only functions as a hindrance. So I keep telling myself I cannot be selfish and do what I can to remove it from myself. So much so that my love becomes all inclusive as my capacity to care for the self becomes less and less. But that is the price one must pay to truly become selfless. A line, a border meant to divide. Keyword, divide. I remember seeing that part of the definition, so I pushed it away, removed it from my dictionary, because unity is that which is pure and holy. So I divide myself from anything that comes between me and my union with all this world has to offer, unaware that embracing Mother Earth means embracing her tormentors as they continue to torment her and eventually torment me as well. A line, a guideline meant to create a safe and permissible way for others to interact with me, give and receive love in healthy doses. I lost track of the fact that this was meant to protect my relationships because it protected me, yet looking out for me was what made me selfish. But
How selfish is Batman if he refuses to fight crime without a batsuit? How selfish is Iron Man if he refuses to help others without an arc reactor? How selfish is Peter Parker if he finally puts MJ and Aunt May before being Spider-Man? In fact, how selfish am I if I decide that no relationship shall ever be protected unless I protect the one thing I spent my entire life pushing away? How selfish am I if I finally put my people-pleasing tendencies to rest and awaken the one thing I spent my whole life pushing to sleep? A line. A fucking boundary.
That was Krishna and Nara. LJ Hamilton has a score of a 27.7. Judges, can I get Krishna's scores in 3, 2, 1? All right. From low to high, I'm at 8.2, an 8.3, an 8.5, an 8.7, and an 8.9. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. Are y'all fading on me? Because I have not faded on you. Give it up for the poet. And keep that energy going for the next poet coming to the stage, Black Wildflower.
Kids cut out the lights to play hide and seek, just to imagine dark figures chasing them like haunting shadows. Kids run from the monstrous black beast that lives in dark hallways. They cannot find the light in the darkness, so they learn to fear the horror. My skin is a daunting dark hallway that no one wants to walk in. People are often hesitant to approach my pathway, frightened to find what lies inside the folds of my mystery, like how kids are taught to fear the dark. And I never know what monster their minds will make of me. I was first introduced to the culture of colorism through childhood intimidation. My cousins would cut off the lights to play hide and seek and say, "Black, where are you? We can't find you. We don't see you." Cut the lights back on, laughing hysterically as if I were not there the whole time. As if my skin was so dark, it didn't exist without their light. Brown paper bag tested, and I never made the cut. Like when my older brother and his light-skinned teenage friends would cut open wounds into my sensitive melanated skin, calling me things like darky, a black Casper. I was the shadow of my family tree. In middle school, I was hypnotized to believe that slavery was the beginning of black. That black meant broken, beaten, or stolen, divided, or conquered. Choose a side, light skin or dark skin. So while white girls tanned, black girls bleached. And I fell into a pit of self-hate. But see, black girls aren't allowed to have depression. We are not allowed to have anxiety. We have to just keep going. It wasn't until I went to a HBCU, historically black college, that I learned to appreciate my blackness, for it isn't just a feeling. My skin isn't just a coat that you can hang up in seasons of adversity. I am not just beautiful. To be a dark-skinned woman, I am beautiful. Period. We should embrace diversity. How can we progress as a people if we continue to divide by shades of skin? We should not teach our kids to fear the dark, but we should teach them to find the light. And even all of the darkest places, my skin may be dark, but God is the only light I'll ever need to brighten my path. So I'll always sing, "This little light in me, I'm gonna let it be free. See, the haters gonna hate on me, but I'm gonna let it be free. This little light you see, I'm gonna let it be free. Let it be free. Let it be free. Let it be free." I'm shining.
Yo, that was Black Wildflower. Krishna and Nara had a score of a 25.5. Judges, let me get Black Wildflower scores in 3, 2, 1. All right, from low to high, I have a 9.3. I have a 9.5. I have a 9.6. I have a 10 and a 10. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet and keep it going for the next poet coming to the mic, the Prodigy. True.
Experiences at the blind school are typically ones you don't see coming. It will begin in your interview. Your future supervisor will marvel how wonderfully dressed you are, will not understand how hungry you are. So smile, like your life depends on it. I love the suit, he says. He laughs, but this is not that type of job. We work with students with multiple disabilities, and I wouldn't want to scare you off, but I wouldn't wear anything you don't want to get poop on. You might get pooped on. So smile, like your life depends on it. And during your first week, you don't get pooped on, but you do get pissed on, but you don't get pissed off, because getting pissed on only happens when you're trying to help. And on your second week, you meet Jason. Jason will notice that you smell nice and will not stop sniffing you. Will get addicted to your fragrance, will try to scoot closer to you. This is your second week, and you don't understand. You yell, ouch, after he pulls your arm hair, and your coworker informs you that he can't hear or speak. But he knows ASL. You don't know ASL. He asks you what your name is. And with support, you grab his hands and you respond, my name, Tony? Or Tall. Jason will continue to have a conversation with you in a foreign language. He will make a coughing sound. He's not coughing. That's just the sound he makes when he's excited. Will occasionally hold his palms out for high five to ensure you are listening. And you will do it, because it is the only moment that you will speak the same language, and it's the only time you have a formal relationship. When Jason dies, you will be left in the same silence you left him in. When you didn't know how to respond. When you get into an accident and can't return and you resign, you will be left with boxed conversation pieces you will never get to present. They will sit in your attic. Thick dust and ashes will decompose your aspirations of teaching Jason into an unfulfilled memory. You finally understand the regrets of not being able. It's a lot like getting pissed on. You won't know how to respond and you won't see it coming. I'm sorry, Jason. I'm learning sign language.
That was a Prodigy truth. Black Wildflower had a score of a 29.1. Judges, let me get Prodigy scores in 3, 2, 1. Judge Judy, can I give you to lift up a little bit more? Thank you so much. All right, we got a low score of a 7.0, of an 8.3, of an 8.8, of a 9.0, and a 9.6. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. And keep that energy going for me. Because next up coming to the stage is Chibi.
I shouldn't be writing this poem. Some people would say that I don't have the right. Confession number 1. I was born in a city with more letters in its name than Sesame Street could sponsor in a whole season. I held a resident alien card so long, I wondered if eventually my skin would turn green. I can hold out a grito like un mariachi chingona. Y muevo las caderas bien sexy como Shakira. See, these baby-making hips do not lie. Hay un fuego adentro, a fire inside that can only be fueled by habaneros and carne asadas. And yet, I can name the 50 states in alphabetical order faster than tequila tends to disappear at a family reunion. But still, I shouldn't be writing this poem. Some people would say that I don't have the right. Confession number 2. Football and soccer are both equally confusing to me. See, in high school, PE did not stand for physical education, but rather painfully excruciating. I found music and math to be far more interesting than monster trucks, but I could still kick your ass at Mortal Kombat, so long as you let me be Sub-Zero. But nobody wanted to be known as the guy that got his ass kicked by a fag, so I could see why I shouldn't be writing this poem, why you think that I don't have the right. Confession number 3. I had a hard time getting through church. Maybe I just didn't believe that I could search for God if I was sitting still. Once I thought I found God in the Spice Girls. I am not kidding. Maybe it was their individuality that made them so universal, but I thought that is what God must be like, so unique and diverse that everybody, no matter who they are, sees their image in God and God in their image. I see God in everybody, and usually I will take God home at the end of the night, and He is always beautiful, and we will find God together, and God damn it, they cannot tell us that we are wrong, but they are still telling us that we are not right, that I shouldn't be writing this poem, that I don't have that right. Confession number 4, I shouldn't have to write this poem. I shouldn't live in a state that protects bigotry and homophobia and calls it traditional family values, where the right to discriminate is given precedence over the right to life, where the facts are irrelevant so long as the fear is real. Houston, you set the example. Gave hate-based fear a public podium, dictated bathroom privileges, decided a dick is a dick no matter the dress, said a bathroom bully has the right to pray, and the right to pray. Who gets caught in the crosshairs? Who fires judgment where hate chooses to target? I act surprised. I'm not. I shouldn't be writing this poem. My name is Manuel Roberto Dunya Carretero. I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, and yes, I am gay. None of these are a choice. Misinformation, that's a choice. Manipulation of the facts, that's a choice. Ignorance casts votes for politicians that push hatred and bigotry and racism and homophobia and call it traditional family values, where the facts are irrelevant so long as the fear is real. It seems Fox News thinks that fear will make America great again. Maybe I shouldn't be writing this poem. Maybe I don't have that right, but I have been wrong enough times to know that no one is perfect. So if my existence and persistence offends you, I forgive you.
That was Chibi. The Prodigy Truth had a score of a 25.1 last round. Judges, can I get Chibi scores in 3, 2, 1? I have a low score of a 9.4, a 9.5, a 9.8, a 10, and a 10. Damn the scores. Give it up for the poet. Can we give it up for every single poet that blessed this mic tonight? Can we give it up for all 5 of my judges who scored tonight? Judges, y'all did an amazing, amazing job. Audience, are we ready to find out who the winners are, who are advancing to finals part 2 next week? First, before I announce them, if you're a poet and you competed in this competition, please come up to this stage. I want all 12 poets, all of the poets who competed in this competition. Y'all clap for them, show them love, show them love, show them love. I want every single poet that competed tonight to come up to this stage and be recognized for sharing work. Y'all, they made this art and they shared it with us. That's amazing. I know Free.Kay has a show after this, so she may not be here. I see Zach on the camera. Can we give it up? Julia, come up to the stage. Fortune, come up to the stage. Lachelle, come up to the stage. Can we give it up for my scorekeeper, my timekeeper, and my bow manager? So I'm Q at 49.5. I'm Chibi at 54.1. But you're saying he's number 8? Because you have Chibi at number 9, so he doesn't.
No, I don't. I have Chibi at 4. Chibi is 4.
Chibi is. Oh, okay. I'm reading it wrong. Okay, cool.
So eliminated is Jade, Boudreau is out. Sarah Bellam is out. Krishna is out. And the Prodigy is out.
All right, y'all. Give it up one time for math. Y'all are like, I'm not clapping for that shit. So advancing to the next night. I'm just going to work it back down. I'm going to go from first to eighth. Maybe eighth to first. I don't know. How should you think eighth to first? Yeah. All right. We're going to do it that way. In eighth place, with a cumulative score of a 49.5, y'all give it up for Q the applause. In seventh place, with a cumulative score of a 53.6, give it up for Sarah Tonin. In sixth place, with a cumulative score of a 53.9, give it up for Free.Kay. In fifth place, with a cumulative score of a 54.4, give it up for Sharika Mitchell. In fourth place, with a cumulative score of a 54.6, y'all make some noise for Chibi. Can I get a drum roll? In third place, with a cumulative score of a 54.9, y'all give it up for Zach Blunt. There's only a difference of 0.6 between second and first place. In second place, with a cumulative score of a 56.2, y'all make some noise for L.J. Hamilton. And the winner of our slam tonight with a cumulative score of a 56.8, y'all make some noise for Black Wildflower. Make some noise for all of my poets who competed tonight. Everyone who shared their work here with us. We will be back again next week. Y'all, thank y'all so much for coming out. Thank you so much for your support. Every single penny from this show tonight is going to the team. We're going to be back again next week. to find out which 5 poets will represent the team and which one poet will be the 2022, right about now, Poetry Slam champion. Thank y'all so much. It's been an awesome night. Feel free to send us tips at WAM Poetry. Otherwise, we'll see you again next week.